Like any internet YouTube gear basic, when the Leatherman Free series was released, well, I guess it's been a month and a half ago now, I decided it was going to change my life. Okay, you know what? That's not true. I looked it up and thought, wow, this looks like they swapped the Wave's best tools for a few of the Wingman's, jacked up the price, and improved it with magnets. So $130 versus the $100 price of the Wave seems like a natural comparison, so that's what we're going to do. But before we get into what the Free P4 does well and what it doesn't does well, let's look at the dimensions like the weight, with and without the sheath. How do you like that new gray colored sheath? That's an upgrade, right? Check the sheath, just so you know it fits the Wave. Figured someone would ask. Close dimensions. You're welcome to that one person. You could say I did a solid on you. Pliers, open and grip. Sorry I didn't release this video a month and a half ago. Had stuff going on. No time to record the voiceovers. Knife dimensions. I know I left a gap in your weekly knife-related consumption of the arts and humanities. And then the tool length. Did you see we got to 40,000 viewers a month and a half ago? Nearly halfway to 100,000. What does it say about a man who has a life goal of getting a play button mailed to him? Just a hypothetical there. Okay, so the Leatherman Free 4P is a brand new Leatherman tool, trying real hard to woo that Victorinox crowd with its sexy, externally viewable tools.
Takes away the mystery, I say.
It also adds, in what I assume to be a heavily requested feature, one-handed opening everything. I'm personally waiting for the Leatherman Auto. A feature most people don't need, but some people legitimately do. And finally, we stir in the pot, the fidgetability and social status of a multi-tool and a butterfly knife. Hold on, my lady. I got that wall plate for you. Is it a Phillips or a Oh my god, there's so much blood! Ah! Remember in the 80s there were butterfly knives, switchblades, so don't ballast song or auto me, okay? However, this new design has its tool drawbacks and ergonomic sacrifices for the sake of one hand in it. So let's look at the one hand shit first, starting with the pliers. The easiest way to open is to use your thumb to break apart the magnet pole. Then look around to see how many people are watching, then flip. It takes a little practice to get down, but that's okay, you have time. You can go full pliers by a few hard flicks. If this has been a wish list feature of yours on a Leatherman, well, hooray for you. I don't have it perfect, and I know someone down there is channeling this asshole right now. Closing it one-handed ain't too bad either. Expect some playful pinching and light smacks of the knuckles. Maybe that's your thing. Now the blades, you can one-hand the straight edge, the serrated blade, the saw, and the scissors all around, too. If you remember on the Wave, only the straight blade and the serrated ones were one-handed opening. If you don't remember, well, that's cool too. Tools open from the outside, use your thumb or fingernail to sort of awkwardly deploy 2 or 3 tools at a time, and then fidget with it for a second to put the ones back in, of course, you're not using. I was going to use them all, okay? All the tools lock and can be unlocked and put back in with one hand as well. Will the magnets wear out or become brittle? Only time will tell. I mean, for someone else, I'll just carry my Wave and never use this one again. Now the handle. Compared to the Wave, the handle on the Free is longer. However, the lower section of the handle where you often grip the tightest has some indentations and nubs that keep the pliers from flexing too much when closed. I think that's their function. There's definitely a function, I'm sure. When pliering a metal thingy, I've experienced the sharp, I don't know what they're called, over travel nubs. Trying to sound technical here. These things right here, they're sharp from certain angles in areas where you often place a lot of pressure when torquing your nuts, for example. Like, I get what the purpose these parts serve, however I feel they could, be tumbled or chamfered or engineered better to make this part comfortable. So handle comfort takes a step backward compared to the Wave or the Charge or the Surge or several other Leatherman tools. I have not experienced a very minor palm injury yet, but I have experienced some discomfort when I've had to grip the pliers lower on the handle in tighter spaces. Sometimes you don't have access to the top parts of the handles, but the bottom part, if it's you're torquing a nut in a tight spot. But since the internet ads I'm seeing for this say it's the perfect multi-tool, then, well, I guess I will just have to continue using the new perfect tool, the Leatherman Free P4. So let's do a tool inspection. The pliers are nice with removable wire cutters like most Leathermans nowadays. Then there's the crimper you always forget about down there. Now onto the handle tool, starting with the serrated. I think this may be a slight improvement over the Wave because of the sharpened tanto versus the sheep's foot blade. I don't know, looks cooler. It's arguable though, and I ain't gonna fight anyone over it. Feel free to fight one another over it in the comments. Then we have the wood file and metal file. 2 textures here. Missing is the diamond file found on the Wave and the Charge. I missed the diamond file for emergency hangnails. But look at the bright side. That tip has a small flathead about 3 millimeters wide. That's 2 tools, bro. Trust us. And how about the tiny ruler, which has a wire stripper, and oh look, another slightly different sized 4.5 millimeter flathead built in for the perfect fit. Next is an awl with the thread hole. Wave doesn't offer an awl, so there's that. I don't often sew things and generally use my blades to puncture holes instead of the awl. This awl has yet another flathead to cram another slightly different sized flathead into the mix. The more traditional style awl found on a Swiss Army knife and some Leatherman tools is generally better for puncturing because the awl comes to a point. Since I'm only awl aware and not all in, I'll let you decide on which is better, and also if you should continue watching after that awl joke. Hopefully we're all good now. At the can opener, I always use that incorrectly. Now on the Leatherman it's forward and on the Victorinox it's backwards. Yeah, gonna look like a real idiot when I sit down to open my pack full of canned goods and I'm using the multi-tool can opener backwards. Couldn't bring a real can opener because I'm trying to save weight for more cans. Then a saw, a little bit of a different design here because it's one-handed. Saw is the same I reckon though. The other side, first a straight edge blade, 420 HC steel, like the serrated blade also, which is just an average steel. Most Leatherman tools use this on their blades except for the upgraded versions like the Charge TTI, which is like S30V, and I think there's another Charge which is 154 cm. Means it dulls a little faster in normal use than one of the upgraded steels, but that's about it. Also easier to sharpen, you know. Now we have the pry tool package opener. You know, it might be said this dual purpose pry bar / package opener is just better than the standalone pry tool on the Wave since it sort of has an edge now. And even though it's a multi-tool review, I don't want to sound like a know-it-all, but there are 2 other blades you could just use to open the package with instead of a sharpened pry head. I feel the same way about the wire stripper feature. I just use my blade often and take the mean comments that roll in and explaining why that notch is superior for a wire stripper and I'm inferior. Then the Phillips head, it screws. Yeah. There's also the bottle opener. Remember the Wave, the bottle opener and can opener were the same tool? Yeah, not here. And finally the scissors. Better than my Wave, maybe arguably better than the Victorinox Spirit scissors because they're bigger. And Victorinox fans are definitely going to argue about that point. The Wave could definitely improve its scissors by making them a bit beefier, like the old Wave. However, I still get a lot of use out of the tiny ones on my Wave. The sheath, it's decent, well made. I haven't set it before, but I like the new button pass-through latching system. It's easy and seems secure, and most of all, quiet. Is that Velcro the sound of you removing your shoes or unsheathing a multi-tool? Is there really a difference? No additional storage areas on the pouch, just the multi-tool main hole. Wish it rode a little lower though, but then again, don't we all? Okay, comparisons. First, the P4. Okay, I get it, you mad bro. My humor isn't as nuanced as a 15-year-old meme. What are the odds the meme is older than the troll? You know, in another 2 or 3 generations, this might replace the Wave. Some serious redesigns would have to happen to the handle first. They're uncomfortable or might even cut you when choking your handles in different ways. I like the improvement of the scissors and maybe the pry tool. However, the tool set on the Wave is more efficient and I like it better. The bit drivers and the pry bar on the Wave do most of your work for you in less space than all the additional flatheads on the Free. Covers most of my screwing needs, I'd say. I use them often, and even though people like to complain about it, you can literally carry the bit driver extender, both bit holders, and the tool in the old nylon sheath. It's a lot of tool and a little bit of space. And the upside is it's easy to stay celibate when carrying it this way. Now the Super Tool 200. I don't have access to my 300 Super Tool currently, so you'll have to do with this one. However, the Super Tool 200 should give you a size reference that the P4 is kind of an in-between between the Surge and Super Tools and the more compact Wave. Handles are better on both Super Tools and the Surge than the Free. Now the Victorinox Spirit. Now this isn't a perfect multi-tool, but Victorinox has details that Leatherman always miss. Parts are tumbled and rounded and chamfered. Highly polished. The only harsh edges are the working edge of the tools. Handles are the most comfortable out of all the multi-tools here, and it opens so smoothly. But I don't like the tool set on the Spirit as much. And the fact of the matter is the tool set is harder to open because a lot of the tools look the same when you look at them on first glance. I know SwissTool fans, it's probably because I'm an idiot and can't tell the difference. And as a side note, in my years of doing this, the most insufferable fans by things I have reviewed are as follows. 1, the Buck 110. 2, the Victorinox fans. Then 3, we have the kukri splainers. They're generally the sorts of people who can't respectfully disagree and resort to saying you're stupid for using your tool differently than their way, or you're too young to understand why this is important. Again, we're talking about knives and multi-tools, so the need for emotion is pretty high. Wrapping it up, I think I covered a lot already here. I know rebar fans will probably be mad I didn't show the rebar. It's just packed away. I'd even buy that over the P4 probably. Or also the Wave or the Charge or the SwissTool or a Surge or just a comfortable set of pliers, you know. You're not missing anything by avoiding the P4. There are some good things like slight tweaks to the tools, but it's also missing my favorite features like the bit drivers. And you know what? If you're a real pro, I'll bet you can open the Wave one-handed. It ain't super easy, but it's possible. And even the SwissTool, which is so smooth it gets close to being like the P4. Seriously, the SwissTool is smoother beyond any Leatherman and definitely smoother than a dude making YouTube videos about multi-tools. The tools are hard to pick, so the real advantage the P4 has is one-handed tool deployment, although you'll still have to trade hands depending on which blade you want to open. Like you can't access everything one-handed by using only your right hand. You have to use the left hand to open the other sides. Call me crazy, but this shouldn't cost more than the Wave. Maybe one day they'll have a sort of hybrid between the two. But for now, just wait it out. Or just give it a thumbs down because you were here for confirmation bias and you spent $130 on a multi-tool you didn't need. And you didn't want an honest evaluation. So if you like this sort of video, like, subscribe, comment, follow me on Instagram where I preview stuff I review and even give gear away. Gave away a used SwissTool once, so that makes me a saint. Or think about Patreon. Pledging $1 or $2 a month helps keep me in gear. This was $130 and I'm going to loan it to Nick Shabazz next. So anyway, thanks for watching.